Oh, babe. Okay. The stream has started. Hello, welcome to the next part of the Ace Attorney streams, where we will be going into the trial of Max Powers. Over the trial of Max Powers apparently killing Jack Hammer. So let us continue on from last time. We are actually going into the trial this time instead of just the investigation.
What is it? Max Powers or willpower?
Was it? I don't remember. Will, Max, it does.
Somebody Powers.
But anyways, October 16th. 18th, excuse me, not 16th. October 18th, 10 a.m. courtroom. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. So, okay, you were right. You're right again. She's always right. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Edgeworth is our opponent again today. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. The prosecution will show the court that at 2:30 p.m. on October 15th, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer in Studio 1 of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact. I see. Very well. I'd like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness. Very well. I call a most familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court. Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio, see? This here is the employee area. The actors did a run-through of their action scenes during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studios. The security lady that works at the studios here at 1 p.m. on that day. Past the security station there is a gate, see? Past that are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15th, there are only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. Then after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m. The production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was cancelled. The time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case, in brief. Anyone like to hear that again? Should listen to the whole thing again? He's just gonna yap on about the same thing, so I say let's skip it. But I'll save it just in case. I think I can probably remember that. So the murder weapon was a spear? How medieval. The samurai spear, added to the court record. Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see? Understood. Let's call this security officer to the stand.
Why do you have an accent?
He actually does have a British accent. So there's a few times where you'll actually hear like some sound bites Phoenix sounds like your typical nervous guy, but Edgeworth is very sophisticated British man. Ascot? Yes, it's an ascot. They're the same thing. His is. Yeah, it's still frilly though. But anyways, will the witness declare her name? Aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered. Ugh! Your name, please. Oh, dearie, no need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma. Your name, please. Seems Edgeworth has a bit of trouble getting his witnesses to say their names. Wendy Oldbag, dearie. Just call me Oh, there she goes. I'm not reading all that. Objection! I object to the witness's talkativeness. Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand. I was just getting to the good part, dearie. Perhaps we can get to the testimony? No, the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct? Yes, say I was? How the hell do you say that? Yes, say? Yes, see? There is no R in that, though. And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you. You know your stuff, dearie. You may begin your testimony. She sure is one hell of an old bag. Witness account. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run-through there since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 p.m. when I got at the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5. Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me because a certain man walked right by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading towards the studio. You saw the defendant then? Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. There's already some suspicious things in her story. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. So up until the time, anyone who wanted to could go into the studio. Well, there wasn't a security guard at the gate, no. But the main gate was locked, dearie. You need an employee card key to get in. Right, the card key that I have. So what she's saying is no one was what she's saying is no one who was supposed to be there could get in. Was there anyone at the studios when you arrived at the guard station? Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run-through there since the morning. A run-through? They were working out a scene between the Steel Samurai and the Evil Magistrate. They got the basics figured out by noon and were used to the afternoon for practice. Rehearsal was supposed to start at 5. That's why poor old Hammer went to the studio in the afternoon. So Powers was in his dressing room sleeping when he was supposed to be practicing. Talk about a laid-back hero. If there was a run-through in the morning, why did you only get there afternoon? Well, I had some errands to run that morning. What kind of errands? Oh, well, you know. Answer the question. Actually, I was watching poor Hammer and Powers, observing, you know. Yeah, she was there. If you actually notice earlier, it shows her still in the image. Do you notice anything else different? It's broken. It broke during their practice. Maybe that will become important later. Observing? Weren't you supposed to be at the guard station? Whippersnapper, I told you I'll lock the gate, didn't I? I did my job. I'm not sure your boss would see it that way. Anyway, I always watch Hammer's run-throughs. Always. Never miss one in all my years. Wow, I want to watch this. I want to see a Steel Samurai run-through too. You could quit being a spirit medium and take up guard duty. Not a bad idea. Anyways, it was 1 p.m. when I got to the guard station. Did you see the victim then? Did I see poor old Hammer? Nope. He already gone into the studio before I got back to the guard station. Tell us what happened next. Wait a minute. No, hold on. So, if he had gone to the guard station, there would have been a record of his photo too. So maybe we'll see one. I was at the main gate from then until 5. So you were watching there the whole time. No breaks? Not even a second? Of course, I am a professional, you know. Or are you criticizing how I do my job, whippersnapper? No, it's just after seeing you eating those donuts in the guard station yesterday. I can watch the gate and eat donuts at the same time. Snipper Whapper? Snipper Whapper? Old windbag is losing it, Nick. Why didn't you raise an objection? So the witness was on duty through the afternoon the whole time. Very well. What did you see? Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? How did you know that? Oh, ho, ho, I have my ways. That overdressed young detective told me. I fed him some donuts and he talked and talked. If you ask me, that detective isn't cut out for his job. She threw him under the bus! Poor Detective Gumshoe, getting ratted out by a security guard. Interesting to me because a certain man walked right by at me at 2 p.m. 2? You're sure? Sure as spit. Well, who was the man? Really, you should try not to get so excited at your age. You might strain something. Now, don't get your skivvies all in a bunch. I'll tell you who it was. I'm actually gonna do this. Yeah. I'm gonna use the power of Will Powers, or this photo, to see. Let me get this straight, old bag, or Miss Old Bag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you? Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. What is this exactly? None other than a Steel Samurai, Defendo of Neo Old Tokyo. Miss Oldbag, is this the Mr. Powers that you saw? Of course. Didn't your mama teach you any sense, Sonny? Anyone can probably see that's Powers, right? No, they can't! Well, I mean, I wonder. True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that does not mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai. Well, I know that. I wasn't born yesterday. No one in this court is accusing you of that, Miss Witness. Is having trouble calling her old bag, apparently. However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you? Nosy old man. Of course I have proof. What? Huh? Even Edgeworth is surprised? The prosecution would like to ask the witness. Please make it known all your information in your possession ahead of time. How was I to know everyone would be so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me, this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look. Ugh. Wow, old Windbag has left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good. Let's hear about your proof, then. The man in the photo. I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the run through the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big... Actually, hold on. I'm curious about something. Yeah, kind of. You can't really see it because you're far away on the bed. But if you look towards the tip, it looks like it's wrapped around with tape. So someone fixed it. And that wrap isn't on there now, so yeah, it was broken first. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his leg. See? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy? So he had sprained his ankle? Very well. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. She's got to be hiding something big. I'll press her until she squeals. I'm gonna press her to see if she gives out any information. Whippersnapper. Hey, I haven't even said anything yet. I'll have you know I'm not pointing fingers at anyone behind their backs. Everything I said... Oh my god. Mr. Wright, please, for Allah's sakes, try not to upset the witness. I think Edgeworth has met his match. That morning during the run-through of the action scene... Who was present at the run-through? Well, let's see. There was Powers, he's the Steel Samurai, then poor old Hammer, the evil magistrate, and me. What exactly were you doing? Observing, just observing. What about the assistant? Oh, she was off moving backdrops around and such. So she didn't see the run-through then. I saw Powers trip and fall. Trip and fall? Yes, and to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh. So Powers sprained his ankle. I helped make it better for him, of course. You helped make it better? I kissed it where it hurt. Oh, let's just skip over that part, shall we? Where was the assistant then? Oh, her? She was cleaning up the backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle. You may continue your testimony. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. He broke a prop? Sure did. His own samurai spear. His samurai spear? The murder weapon? Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it. This strikes me as a significant detail. I better write this down in the court doc record. The murder weapon, a break in the shaft, has been mended with duct tape. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Was Mr. Powers' ankle badly sprained? Not so bad that he couldn't walk around. He went to his dressing room to rest up after lunch, thus the nap. Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked. Dragging his foot? Okay. I think we've heard enough. Haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there is one thing that bothers me. Which is... Where is this Steel Samurai costume now? Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking, though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the Steel Samurai, yes. And it is clear that the person in the Steel Samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers. I suppose that's right. You sure you're sure, Your Honor? Object. Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the Steel Samurai. Nowhere in this photo can you see Mr. Will Powers. The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also. Oh, he got something up his sleeve. Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please? No need to ask twice. Witness account continued. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true? The only person I got through the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen him. So if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be the Steel Samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Okay, 2:30. How do you know that? Didn't I just explain? I gave donuts to the young detective. And then, after some rubbish about being a secret pal, he told me, you fucking bitch. Fucking kicking poor Gumshoe when he's down. I see Detective Gumshoe shares his fellow officer's fondness for donuts. The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. Are you absolutely sure? Oh, quite sure, Sonny. Nobody's suspicious looking passed by at all. Nobody's suspicious looking? Right. No one else went there. What about before you got to the guard station? You mean before 1? Why, everyone was in the employee area before then. And I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention, if they had, I would have seen him. I'm press her, and then I'm probably gonna have to present some evidence. Are you sure? The witness has answered the question. Anyone going to the studio had to pass by the witness. That's right, Sonny. You let him have it, edgy boy. Edgy boy? Ugh. Old Windbag sure has balls, or, well, you know what I mean. Old Windbag have a way of skipping over important details after all, or for that matter, entirely forgetting them. How convenient. Something for you to look forward to, perhaps? Wait. This is his key card. That he couldn't have gone in there. Hold on, let me see if this will work. Nope. No, we're not. I just need to present it right. No, it's not Let me see. What evidence contradicts what's here? For which piece of testimony, though? I'll try it. Oh! You're right. Again. Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct? Yes, sirree, Sonny. So whenever someone So whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture. And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground. Right. Anyway, it's also true that the computer at the guard station records all the security cam data. Oh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening. That very computer printed out this photo. Note on the back of the photo are printed the words, October 15th, 2 p.m., photo number 2. Even I know that means it was taken at 2 p.m. on October 15th. Really, Sonny? Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says, photo number 2. Photo number 2? The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo 1 if it really was the only photo? Order! Order! Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. The evidence shows that not one, but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet there is only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access. The security lady herself. You watch your mouth, whippersnapper. The only person I saw that day was Will Powers. But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by. Well, yes, that's what it would seem to mean. Can the witness explain this to the court? I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Edgy boy, help? Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either. Some help you are. You're a whippersnapper too. Whippersnapper? Something the matter, Miss Oldbag? That's right. I just remembered something. Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate. Someone other than the Steel Samurai? Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way. I see. Your testimony, please. The other person. Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day. Miss Oldbag, this is the first I've heard of this. Well, of course, Sonny, I only just remembered it. Right. Anyways, Mr. Wright, please begin your cross-examination. Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kinda expected this. Every day, okay, so press her on this. Another job? That's right, I check all the people that passed by the main gate that day. I look closely at every one of the photos that the security camera takes. Do you back up all the security camera data? Well, they keep telling me to, yes. But those computers are just so frustrating. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. How exactly do you determine what isn't suspicious looking? Oh, you can tell by looking at their faces for the most part. For the most part. This is a murder trial, Miss Oldbag. Well, I didn't touch that suspicious looking Will Powers photo, did I? I think she's missing the point. Come to think of it now, I remember throwing out one photo that day. Well, who in the heck was in that photo you erased? A fanboy. Fanboy? Steel Samurai fanboys. Real freaks, if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. One was there that day. Wait a second. Didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words. Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. The gate has been loose for a while. It leads outside, and well, that's where they come in. They come in through the drain? I told you they were freaks. Oh, and they're kids, children, whippersnappers. Kids? So on the photo that you erased, it was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade. What? Order! Order! Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on their way to the studio that day. One was the Steel Samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be about 2nd or 3rd grade. Oh, yes. Well, we see his type there every day. Can't stop him, can't catch him. A boy in 2nd or 3rd grade. I assume this would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear. Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy. Right, as I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data. Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there, that makes him a suspect. Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him. The court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time. So all that took about an hour, apparently. 1 hour and 8 minutes. But in real life, for you and me, that took about 30 minutes. Mr. Powers? Yes? Tell me straight. Were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio? I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping. Honest. So who was the Steel Samurai in that security photo? How should I know? The Steel Samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have just walked in and taken it, really. What? You should, excuse me. You should take better care of your stuff. I couldn't imagine anyone wanting to steal a Steel Samurai costume. So where did this leave me? It doesn't look good. You're really the only likely suspect right now. Nick! What are we gonna do? First, we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could have conceivably have done this. Right. And I'll take him... And it'll take him so long to shoot us down that we can get another day. Right, but if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot. You don't sound very optimistic. I'm not optimistic at all, actually. Hey, Nick, it's time. Okay, let's go. What does that mean? Please don't sigh like that. Yeah. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter? The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence. But there is still no one else that could have committed the crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. Very well. Mr. Wright, your thoughts? The defendant disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who have committed this crime. Order. Interesting. Let us hear who you have in mind. However, beware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized. Right, great. As if the stakes weren't high enough. Penalize. It's not the security lady. The grade school boy and the assistant girl. It was the assistant. The Steel Samurai costume was in his dressing room. She stole it, and in doing that, she became the Steel Samurai. So you're saying the Steel Samurai in the picture is really the assistant? That's correct, Your Honor. If you're so serious, you've got guts, Mr. Wright. Remember the photo? Wasn't the Steel Samurai a little lame? He was dragging his foot. Oh, uh-oh. Bad feeling time. Remember the testimony concerning Power's injury. Powers and the poor hammer were at the... I'm actually thinking about this now. It could actually have been the boy. Because remember, the boy was probably watching the fucking... so he could see what... But let's see what happens. I'll reload to back to earlier, but I want to see what gets said. What? Oh, go ahead. Powers and poor Hammer were at the run-through. Oh, and me. What about the assistant? Oh, her? She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle. The assistant knew nothing of Mr. Powers' injury. She could look the Steel Samurai... She could look the Steel Samurai look with that costume, but she couldn't walk the Steel Samurai walk. She wouldn't have limped. That kind of takes the legs out from under that case. He penalized me. So the answer is not the assistant. The grade school boy. It was the grade school boy. Why isn't anyone saying anything? Blah! Are you seriously suggesting the boy did it, Mr. Wright? Grade school boy kills veteran action star with spear. For one thing, the murder weapon was with the Steel Samurai. Would you care to explain just how the boy would have obtained it from him? Maybe that was a dumb move on my part. Maybe? How about absolutely, Nick? Mr. Wright, I'm afraid I have to penalize you as I warned. So it's not the grade school boy, the security lady. It was the security lady, Wendy Oldbag. Who? The Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew something about the morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady Oldbag. What? Whippersnapper. Order! Order! Is this true, Oldbag? Oldbag? That's Miss Oldbag to you. Miss Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the Steel Samurai costume. Then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder. Why would she go through the trouble of wearing the Steel Samurai costume? Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers. I see. Excuse me. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright. Oh, yeah, right there, right here. Sherlock Holmes too, baby. That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump in with an objection and some damning evidence? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter? The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time. What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you think I did it? Is that it? Edgy boy, don't just sit there, do something. What's my move? Maybe now's my chance to take this the whole way. Give Granny a break. I guess this does kind of make it look like she's the killer. Funny, I feel bad for her all of a sudden. It's true that the witness could conceivably have committed this crime, yet we must not forgo the victim was an action hero. Wait. I probably have to push it further. I have to be Edgeworth as the villain. The very same reasoning that makes Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Miss Oldbag's actions on that day. But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer? You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive, too. Indeed. That did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope. Wait just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy, the one who photo I erased. He's only a grade schooler, though, as you said. Second or third grade, was it? That doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds tops. Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? The boy is not the killer. What? How can you be so sure? Or is it be nice to the kids and mean to your elders day, whippersnapper? I have proof. Proof? Indeed. Then let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed this murder? The photo again, or the key card?
Take that!
Your Honor, the murder weapon was a samurai spear. The very same spear is shown here in this photo. How could the boy have taken the spear? It's impossible. I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this? The Windbag. Speechless. This has got to be a first. Very well. This court will now suspend proceedings of the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Windy. Was that her name? Something, old bag, Your Honor. Then the prosecution will look into this old bag before we continue. That is all. The court is adjourned. Well, wait a second. I'm not going to just sit here and while you run off barking up the wrong tree. Me? I'm talking. Oh. Everyone is stunned. Oh, great. Stop the presses. The Windbag wants to talk. Miss Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony? Actually, if you must know, there is something that I was told not to talk about. Not to talk about? By whom? You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk? Well, testify. My lips were sealed. Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on that day of the murder. They say they had nothing to do with it, see? So they want me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studios that day. But if you're going to go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free. Miss Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now? Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap and I always do what I'm told. No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the old bag. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Okay. Did you hear what... Ooh. Did you hear what they were saying, though?
She tried peeing on the breeze.
But they told her to shush. Can I have one of those? Well, you eat first. I'll let them cool down for a minute.
There.
Oh. Hold on one second. It was good. I liked it. So you were told not to talk. That's right, by the studio and the TV bigwigs, no less. Why didn't I hear about this? Not to be too hard on yourself, Sonny. We were all in on it. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. Who were these people? Well, the director and the producer, for starters. The director? We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Of course! Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it. So where were these people? The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime and they had a meeting after that. Where? Oh, in the Studio 2 trailer. Studio 2? There was a Studio 2? Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. You go through the gate and all the way to the left. The path where the monkey's head was fallen over. Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue this cross-examination? I think I've already asked all my questions, but... They say they had nothing to do with it, see? Miss Oldbag, this is a trial for murder. I know that's silly. Still, they were pretty convincing about having nothing to do with it, and they gave me a little bonus on the slide. So you got your bonus and still talked? I think I've asked all the questions I have. Let me ask the final one. Global Studio... So they just told me to pretend they hadn't been at the studio all day. So they were actually in the studio? Yes, the whole day. When they heard about the murder, they beat it before the cops came. Yeah, I'll kill this woman, I swear it. I feel sorry for Edgeworth almost. She really left him hanging on this one. Them? Who were these people? Well, the producer and the director, yeah, this is just re-going through what was already said. It's just going through the dialogue. And now we basically say, yeah, no, cross-examination is done. Your Honor, we have learned there were others at the Global Studios on the day in question. The director and the producer, big wigs, were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold it that it is impossible to declare the verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers. The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldbag, and more information about the other people we have just been told of. I understand, Your Honor. This ends the day's proceedings in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. This court is adjourned. Now get the hell out of my courtroom. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me. Aw, really? It's nothing. Oh, or should I say... We'll be going down to the studios to do some more investigating. We have to find more about this director and the producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now's my chance to get the material for the cross-examination. So Nick, have we figured out just who it was in that samurai costume? Could it really have been old Windbag? What do you think, Mr. Powers? I don't think it was her, really. Neither do I, Nick. Yeah, I know. Look, I was buying for time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers. Poor old Windbag. I kind of feel sorry for her. Well, she wasn't winning any points in there, with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios. Right, we'll be back to visit you soon. Thanks guys. I just want something good to eat right now. Day 2. Actually, hold on. If you want, we could actually stop here, take a break, and then come back to do more of the stream. So we are actually going to take a small break for maybe 30 minutes or so. But we will continue. We're ending the stream, but we're going to come back and do it afterwards. But before we go do that, let me ask you this. From just that first segment of the trial, what do you think of the case so far?
That was just exhausting having her as the witness.
But what do you think about all these new details? That there was multiple people there watching, that there was a kid there. People told the guard to hush up.
It does nothing sounds professional. None of it sounds professional.
I mean, as you may be surprised to learn, some of Hollywood, some of it is actually pretty incompetent.
Like this.
Yeah. But anyways, we will be back for the streams in a little bit. Anyways, thank you all for coming, and we will be right back for part 2. So this is a part 1 video. Part 2 will be after this.